Hey, what's up, witches? It's me, Luna. And today, there are two things that you will very rarely see happening here. One is me in something that's not black, and two is me in a big bulky sweater, but it's cold. It's very cold. I'm shooting this on January 2nd, and I apologize, first off, to Roxanne Pedersen that it took me this long to shoot the video, but it was holiday week, so I know you forgive. I have a gift deck here, which is very exciting. And this is the Goddess Within Oracle. And I promise you to do my best not to put my head down and start to mumble because it's a bad habit. Anyway, here we go with the Goddess Within Oracle, healing with the Divine Feminine. And right away, I am just stunned by this gorgeous artwork. This is by Christabel Jessica. Artworks by Celia G.F. and Danielle Jones. This is Blue Angel, US $28.95. Okay, I'm confused because the copyright on it is 2024, but I got it last week, so this must have been, a pre-sale. Healing with the Divine Feminine. Oh, I love this. I love when we have matte and then shiny images. Your wise woman awakens. A barefoot maiden whispers of magic beneath the slender moon. A wizened crone prepares healing herbs in a woodland cottage. And elsewhere across time and space, an anointed priestess lights a candle to begin her temple ritual. The energy of the goddess is with them all. Place your feet firmly on the earth, breathe into your bold and gracious heart, and feel her rise within you. This oracle is dedicated to returning power to the feminine, unlocking her wild soul, and honoring her in all aspects. The messages and imagery speak to everyone who wants to unite with their divinity. We can all benefit from the profound healing available through our fierce and nurturing goddess nature. Activate the Divine Feminine with mythology, revealing card layouts, and transformative insights to receive direct messages from Persephone, Durga, Lilith, and other deities from around the world. Embrace and embody your goddess nature to realize the love, strength, and wisdom within you now and forever. 44 cards and 160-page full-color guidebook. Now, I've just found myself wondering while I'm reading this because a couple of my first two goddess oracles, there's the Goddess Oracle and there was Oracle of the Goddess, and from the 80s, 90s. And those were kind of outliers at the time. I can't remember the authors' names right now. I'll probably put a subtitle that you've probably already read. Anyway, that was like the leading edge, Now we are in full flower of the reemergence of goddess consciousness and goddess religion and witch talk. and it's going to be very interesting to see because right now there really is a glut. There's so many goddess decks, and I have no complaints about that whatsoever. But it will be interesting to see what happens as this goddess-centered mindset becomes normalized and really becomes, we're changing brains right now. Our brains are changing, and it will be very interesting to see what happens with our discipline, with the divinatory arts, when we're not so focused on the goddess because she's been so denied. And really, I hope there is no difference, because here on planet Earth in a body, we should be goddess-centered. That's my opinion. Anyway, here we go. We have thumb holds here, typical nice two-part Blue Angel box. And here is the note. All I did was open it and tuck the note in. A gift for you. It's that time of year. Thank you for all that you do for the collective. I have been blessed each and every time we are together. Blessed be, from Roxanne Pedersen. Thank you so much, my dear. And blessings to you for a wonderful 2024, health, prosperity, love, surrounded by good friends, laughter, food, all of that. And here we have the blessed Blue Angel piece of paper and a nice chunky little book. There is a color image, a small color image of each card. All right. Dedicated to returning power to the feminine, unlocking her wild heart, and acknowledging and releasing her pain to allow her to run free. Releasing her pain. Okay, so artwork by Celia G.F. listed on 144 and artwork by Danielle Jones on 145. So we have two separate artists here. Let me see what we got. Also, let's look about the artist and the author. Look at that beautiful image. Christabel Jessica was raised in Queensland, Australia. At the age of 2, she would walk around asking people, "How are you feeling?" She hasn't stopped since. Her empathy, intuition, and desire to learn about humanity and the universe have always been strong. Christabel studied early childhood education for a few years, then changed to psychology. Although she loved the content, she didn't finish her degree. I understand why. I understand why. So many of us, sort of multi-creatives, want good, broad information, but aren't willing to like dial down and focus in to, go that long haul on one thing. And I get it. Rather, she quit university 2 days after attending a Reiki workshop. From that point, she followed her heart and studied psychic development and intuitive healing, devouring spiritual books and information as if it was her new university course. Yeah, ditto. It's like, yeah, I'm fascinated with this, but, university's sort of dancing around things, and it's like, where's the meat, While those years of changing course felt confusing, Christabel can now see why she needed to understand how to educate and how to understand the human mind from a scientific and spiritual perspective. She combines these elements in YouTube videos oracle sets, and healing and mentoring sessions to assist those who also feel called to break down the old ways to make way for the new. Christabel is passionate about providing a safe healing space for people as they navigate their spiritual journey. Discover more at ChristabelJessica.com. I'll drop that below in the, About the artist. A self-taught illustrator with a degree in art history, Celia G.F. uses her knowledge of symbology and art theory to enrich her works with meaning. She draws inspiration from many sources, including music, books, video games, and mythology. Celia has collaborated with publishers such as Alete, Supersonic, Nocturna, Cacao Books, and Munich, and worked with clients from all over the world. Some of her best-known cover images are Chlorophilia by Cristina Gerardo, for which she won the Ignotus Award in 2018, La Compañía Amable by Rocio Vega, Sistemas Críticos by Martha Wells, and El Clan Sin Nombre by Africa Vázquez Beltran. Discover more of Cecilia's works by connecting with Thanatos of Nicte, Nicte, on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, or Cecilia GF on ArtStation. And then the cards by her are listed. And then we have Danielle Jones, whether using oils or digital material. Danielle Jones likes to incorporate whimsy and reality in every piece she creates. A practicing witch, she imbues her paintings with energy and intention for the subject at hand. Danielle's work as a freelance illustrator and graphic designer has been recognized and used for book covers, packaging, and oracle cards around the world. By working with brands, authors, and personal clients, she has turned her passion into a career. Visit the Creative Witch Co. on Etsy, where Danielle sells handmade witchy binders, bookmarks, and digital downloads featuring New Age themes. Okay, so now I am very interested to see the difference between the two artists' work. Keeping my finger in that page when we get going. Okay. So we have the rise of the divine feminine, the purpose of this oracle, mythology, working with this oracle, how to use the cards, and the divine feminine spreads. Not a lot of pages taken up with that introduction up to page 18, and then we go to the card meanings. All right, so let's see. Let's go to the purpose of this oracle. This is a little bit of a story here to set things up. These cards were created in honor of women in all phases, inner child, maiden, mother, crone, and all aspects between. This deck is for anyone who wants to explore and connect with their divine feminine energy, not just women, but also those who identify as male or non-binary. Working with feminine, I mean, think about it. How many years have we been forced into the he, where I was included in the collective he, and, really relating ourselves, no matter where we are on that gender spectrum, to the male. So, of course, men can do the same thing. So, yay. Working with feminine energy is like a warm hug from a loving mother. Everyone deserves this. Each person has masculine and feminine energies in varying degrees, so we can all benefit from receiving the healing available to us through working with both. Working with each energy polarity within you balances yin and yang and leads to becoming an integrated whole being. And the place where masculine and feminine meet in the middle provides healing through balance and non-binary energy. Take a walk through history, connecting with heroines, queens, and goddesses of various pantheons, ages, and energies. Some will call on you to feel deeply. Others will call on you to learn something new or to activate an aspect of your essence. Allow each card to take you on a journey deep within as they bring forward the teaching and healing frequency relevant to you. Over time, you will integrate these energies. Each embodiment of the divine feminine within this deck will surround you with love, support, and guidance, ensuring you are not alone on the path of humanity. Then she talks about mythology. Working with the oracle, refer to your cards when you want the loving support and guided lessons of the divine feminine. How to use them, instructions and suggestions on getting started. Clearing your cards over page. When space is ready, energetically clear your deck. Yes, clearing your cards. How to do a reading. My highest level guide. Okay, you can use this invocation. My highest level guides from the highest realms, please be with me and help me gain insight through these cards. Okay, so it's talking about jumpers and then interpreting the message. Then we have the Divine Feminine card spread, single card, 2 card. And the examples they give are do, don't, query, solution, yes, no, past, present, mind, heart, logic, emotions, comfort, lesson. Ooh, comfort, lesson. I like that. And feel and do. Then we have a 3 card, past, present, future, 4 card, to conduct a deep soul search to reach the core of multiple aspects of a situation. So we have 2 4 cards. There's a yoni layout. What do I need to embrace about this situation? What do I need to face about this situation? How is my inner being affecting this situation? How are my outer circumstances affecting this situation? I like that. Embrace, face, inner, outer. This is what does my inner child require to feel nourished? What does my mind need to be at its most nourished state? What does my body need to feel nourished? And what does my soul need to be nourished? See, I would do that as a 5 card. Oh, and then we have the energetic scan layout. Which card represents my emotional energy, my mental energy, physical energy, spiritual energy? Nice. Okay, and then we go into the cards. So we have the title. We have a highlighted little paragraph or a sentence or phrase. And then we have a description, and then we have the message from the card. All right. So let's get the band off here. You know what I'm noticing right away is the size. I like it. I was really expecting giant cards in this box because that is the way of like all the other Blue Angel decks that I have. Think about Lucy Cavendish, Alana Fairchild. The cards are wide. And look at this. I mean, they are long, so I just barely get my fingers around them. But I still can get my fingers around them. And they're going to shuffle easier because they're not as wide. It's all about proportion, length to width. Okay, so we have this beautiful interwoven pentacle with moons. I'm mesmerized by this. I adore knotwork. I adore woven kind of things, and this is just gorgeous. It's beautiful. I love the interweaving. I immediately am looking at that and going, ooh, how can I sew that or make that into something else, All right. So here is, now we go back here. Anahit. This is Celia G.F.'s artwork. Look how stunning. The light. I've said this before, but when an artist can make light come streaming out of a canvas, it just blows my mind. It's weird because I get this kind of greeny look to it on camera, but the way I'm looking at it, it really is a beautiful purpley blue. At any rate, here we are with Anahit. She's gorgeous. Right, and the next one is by the second artist. Oh, I'm just noticing that the artist names are not on the front of the book. That kind of bums me. I mean, they're on the front of the box, and that's great. But let's put our artists up front. So we have Cecilia and Danielle. This is Cecilia. And here's Danielle. Certainly complementary styles. There's that same softness and light. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at Aphrodite sitting in her clamshell. Beautiful. Here's Artemis. Yeah. Very dynamic. So here, okay, I have to be aware of me mumbling. Very dynamic. Look at her shooting through the air. And Athena with her owl. So this is a collage. It looks like. And here I have to go and see who did this one. So this one is Cecilia. Baba Yaga is Danielle. Look at her. Oh, wait. All right. Now, I'm not going to look up the artist anymore because I get myself distracted. Look at the Gorgon, the owl. And here's Baba Yaga. Look at the light. See? Wow. She's gorgeous. And she looks old. She doesn't look like a young woman in old makeup. Same with her Baobo. Baobo is one of my very, very favorites. If you've ever seen an image of Baobo, she is like a head and a twat on legs. Hilarious. And she's all about humor. And I mean, look at her. Look at her. You fuck with this woman, she is going to take you down cackling. Oh, I love her. And Boudica. Absolutely stunning artwork. And there's Breed. Look at the light. And that fiery red hair. Just stunning. So what makes the difference between, from one goddess deck to another when they're all, images of an artist's conception of the goddess and their name? What makes the difference? Well, because the goddesses are who the goddesses are. And so the writing is going to add a little nuance, I'm sure. But it's the interpretation, the visual interpretation itself that makes the difference. And look at Caradwen. Look at Breed and look at Caradwen. Oh, my goodness. The red, the green, and just the portrayal of true age is, I'm very grateful for that. Cleopatra. So now we are out of goddesses and into a historical figure who was very powerful in a lot of ways. Here's Demeter. And I like the way the border on the card complements the artwork. Just noticing that all the borders are different colors. Durga. Oh, look at the tiger eyes. I'm very attracted to these cards. Estanatlehi. Okay, I'm not going to try it again. Gorgeous. Eve. Look at how she is portrayed. Look at the youth and the virginity. And you know how, well, virginity as far as not having children. And you can tell that from the breasts. Budding. Look at the roses. Freya. I kind of wish she was just boldly naked rather than covering. But she is beautiful. Hecate. Oh, I Love the crown of spikes. Hina. Inanna. Look at her white dog. Isis. So I'm going to see which artist it is that does all this kind of. All right, so this is Celia that does the. Yes, she did both Breed and Carradine. What is this? Like smoky, watery colors. I love it. Ich Cacao. Beautiful portrayals of different racial features. Ichel. Joan of Arc. Look at her in a modern dress. How interesting is that? Wow. I mean, that's a mouthful right there. Here's Kali Ma. Lady of the Lake. Oh, look at her. That's gorgeous. Lilith. Mat. Getting ready to weigh someone's heart. Mary Magdalene. They all do have kind of a saucy look about them. Here's Medusa. That one almost looks like a photograph, but I love the expression. And then Musso Coroni, look at her. Ooh. Nyx. Oya. So I would expect to see Amaya in here. Yeah, Maya and Oya are sisters, and if you honor one without the other, there's jealousy. Pachamama, oh, look at her. I mean, I just love the variation of age. Pandora. Persephone with her pomegranate. Kuan Yin. Oh. Let me see if I can get it to focus in on her face. It's just not going to do it. What you don't see is the tear coming down her cheek. She who hears the cries of the world and weeps for us all. Ooh, it's brightening up outside. That's something. It has been gray, and more gray. Here's Queen Maya. I believe she was the mother of the Buddha, of Shakyamuni Buddha. Queen of Sheba. Sedna. Sekhmet, yes. I like that there's Sekhmet, but not Bastet. Sekhmet is the badass of the two. Sheila Nahig. Well done. So yes, it's spelled Sheila Nagig, but I have read that it is pronounced Sheila Nahig. And you see her in images. She's like this old goblin-y looking, and she's got her legs apart, and she is actually spreading her yoni open, and it's like a big gateway, you know. Here we just get the gateway, and I love the floweriness of it. I love the dewdrop here. I love the blood kind of spatter here. Just glorious. All right, I need to see who did this one. This one is Cecilia as well. Well done. Bravo. Brava. Here's the Morgan. Oh, I want that shirt or that dress. Although it won't look quite like that on me. Here's Thetis. Walu. White Buffalo Calf Woman. We don't have you, Maya. That's fascinating. Okay. All right, my charcoal is lit, and I have to say, I don't, as a rule, like collaborative decks where you have a number of artists. Oracle of the Dragon Fae by Lucy Cavendish is one. That was like the first compilation one that I got. Then things like the Pride Tarot, which is just a total tarot that is cobbled together from contributions from many, many, many artists. And the reason that I don't generally like them is because they will have wildly different art styles, and it it feels disjointed to me. When I do a reading, it's like, things will jump out and they just kind of interrupt the flow for me. But the works of these two artists are so compatible with each other. You can see differences, and I'm sure I will spend time really, separating them out, because I do. My neurodivergence likes to sort things, so I'll probably sort them into the different works and, spend some time appreciating their artistic differences. But right now I'm really appreciating their artistic cohesiveness for this deck. Just amazing. Let's give it a blessing. Oh, where are my matches? So yes, a new goddess deck, a brand new goddess deck to kick off this new year. I have so much gratitude, Roxanne, and now I'm just honing in on you and your energies. Again, in gratitude. And by air and fire, may you be purified and charged. Oh, this is the first sage of the new year. I wanted to do a blessing on New Year's Eve, and I was just tired and in far too much pain. So, me too, me too. I offer this smoke cleanse to you too as well. You too as well, in also? Okay. And by water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole, and you as well, Roxanne. And all of you, my wonderful viewers who are watching. I'm getting very close to 2,600 subscribers. By the sound of the bell, may the spirit within you activate. The spirit of the author, let's get that hair off the bell here. The spirit of the author, the spirits of the artists, all of you. Gratitude to all of you. And guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you for getting us through another holiday season. I went down and sung to my kids last night. We got through another Christmas. We got through another Christmas. Oh, and so gratitude to all my guides and guardians, my allies and ancestors. I offer you fresh water in the fire of Azrael and invite you to use this incredible tool in order to speak to us, but most especially to speak to Roxanne today. Let's give her a shuffle. It's heavy cardstock, there's no doubt about it, and they are long. And they shuffle because they are. Let's try that again. They shuffle because they're longer than they are wide. I have some kind of squarish decks that are nearly impossible to shuffle even with lighter cardstock. There we go. It's not easy. It's not an easy shuffle. It's not an enjoyable shuffle. It's not something that my hands are enjoying. So, yeah, and it's hard to bridge them because they are such thick cardstock. But let's do a cut shuffle, and let's zoom in here. And they're telling me 6 cards, so you're getting a full Monty. Roxanne, and you deserve it for thinking of me and sending me such a wonderful, wonderful gift. If you would like to send me a wonderful, wonderful gift, this deck and the ones that I got for Christmas take me to 443 decks in the collection. So if you would like to be the one to take me to 444, there's a list in the description below. And I will be eternally grateful. Everybody that sends me a deck, whether you send me a little note or not, I put your name in this book so that I remember you every time I pull it off the shelf. Now I'm going to split and pull. And let's... let me in, please. Okay. For Roxanne, what does she need to know this year? And we get Anahita right in the beginning. Squish these out a little bit. Demeter. Yay. Sheila Nag. I'm so glad it came up because I can't wait to read. Anahit. I was calling her Anahita. Anahit. Lady of the Lake. Inanna. Do it this way. I do prefer, cut shuffling it this way rather than, okay, Kali Ma. She's the one that came straight up, so she gets the final say. All right. Let's jump in. Anahit. Work on your relationship with your body by honoring it as the vessel through which you experience life. Now, I will read this whole first one, but I don't know that I will read the entirety of each one that comes after. But, this is a brand new deck. This is a first look for a lot of people, and why not give you a good idea of what's in here. In Armenian mythology, Anahit is the goddess of fertility, healing, wisdom, and water. Introduced during the 5th century BCE, she became one of several primary deities worshipped in Armenia alongside Aramazd. Okay, Ahura Mazda. Aramazd. Okay. I keep saying okay. Described as the mother of Armenian paganism, statues of the goddess emerged throughout Armenia during the rise of her popularity, signifying her importance. Today, the bronze head of the deity can be viewed at the British Museum, of course. So many treasures of so many countries are in the British Museum. With her connection to water, the source of life, and her healing powers, people with any illness or physical ailments would travel to the temples in Artashat to worship her and receive help and healing. Anahit's message. Your body is incredible and deserves your unconditional love and respect. It is the reason you are able to taste, touch, and experience life. Do you catch yourself thinking you will wait until your imperfections improve before booking that beach vacation or going out for a night of dancing? When looking at yourself in the mirror, do you tend to hone in on the areas you have deemed not good enough? When another person looks at you, they see the whole of you. They are zoomed out, whereas you are zoomed in. Others see how your face lights up when you smile. They see how you shine like the sun when you share a joke. They do not hone in on imperfections as you do. Unless they have Virgo rising. Sorry. The human body is the vessel through which your soul gets to experience this world, allowing you access to pleasure and joy. Through your body, you can taste chocolate cake, smell the beautiful perfume of flowers, and revel in the joy of laughter and the feel of silky, beautiful fabrics draped over you. I just got the cotton commercial in my head. Your body anchors you to the earth as you press your hands into the soil of your garden, feel the grass under your feet and the sunshine penetrating your skin. From this moment, there is no more waiting until your flaws are fixed before allowing yourself to enjoy your body. Your life is happening now. Make a practice of looking in the mirror zoomed out. List how your body will enable you to experience its beauty and notice your relationship with your body shift. Okay, so the writing is really good. Really, it's a great pointed message. There's not a lot of, sometimes there's so much information in a deck that you have to kind of sift through and to figure out what is the core message here. This is very clear on its core message. Stop talking smack about your body. Stop criticizing your body. Stop sending that negative energy towards your body. So when you're having those thoughts, and you know, don't you, with the mind-body connection, that the thoughts that you have affect the functioning of your immune system. They affect how your digestion happens. They affect your heart rate and your circulation. I mean, that you can tell right away. If you start thinking about things that, just thinking about it gets your heart racing. So imagine when you are constantly sending, I don't like, I don't like, I don't like, I don't like. Or most often we will say, I hate my nose. I hate the way that I hate, I hate, I hate. Imagine how your body mind responds when you are sending messages of hate to yourself. So there is that wonderful pointed message. And I'm going to come, no, we're just going to go in the order we laid it out. Demeter. So we look at this central card here, kind of starting to flesh out this 6-card thing that I started doing. When this card goes down first, it can really give us a focus, and then we have more of an outcome, and then we see sort of what surrounds the circumstances and what leads us to the outcome. So Demeter says, instead of forcing the situations in your life to come to fruition prematurely, allow them to unfold and mature with a strong foundation. So I'm not going to read the little description of the goddess here. I'm just going to read Demeter's message. Imagine buying some rose seedlings. You come home and plant them in the garden. Barely able to wait for these seeds to become flowers, you are beyond excited. Deciding you cannot wait, you immediately water and tend to them frequently throughout the day in your desire to make them grow. Without the time to go through the growing phase, these seeds now become waterlogged and die before having the chance to bloom. Humans tend to do this with new relationships, creative projects, and opportunities. With the excitement to attain the finished product, the human tendency is to crush the rose before it's had time to unfurl its beautiful petals. Forcing an idea to fruition can kill it before it's had a chance to grow. There was an old thing, too, about, you plant seeds and then go out and dig them up every day to see if they're growing. So to allow natural unfolding is to hold space for the energies and the processes to come to fruition in time. A lack of patience can signify an unconscious belief that the unfolding will not happen, so you must rush it and cling tight to ensure it works out. That's also called micromanaging. Suppose you have an internalized insecurity that you are not lovable and that everyone abandons you. In that case, you may try to rush a newfound romantic interest into a commitment phase instead of enjoying the flirty dating stage. Suppose you have an internal belief system correlated with an inability to succeed. In that case, you may rush the steps of your career instead of enjoying the building of a strong foundation and creation phase. Your desire to push things forward indicates that it is time to ground yourself in the present moment and assess why you have the urge to rush. You deserve to enjoy the unfolding of your life, be patient, and trust that it will happen as it needs to. Now, I am noticing with this and the first card that at the very end, that the last paragraph kind of gives you a wrap up. So this is saying we need to slow down and be part of the organic unfolding of things. And the other side of being patient and waiting for something to come to fruition is because if you're micromanaging something's growth, once it gets to a certain phase, you're also going to try to clamp down and keep it the way it is. So, we have to also allow things to devolve and to, break down and go away. So, all right, let's look at Sheila Nahig, and then we will go through that first line again. Okay. Honor the yoni in all its forms and life cycles, for it contains the gateway to life, wisdom, pleasure, and healing. I am going to read the description because a lot of people aren't really familiar with her. Sheila Nahig is the name for sculptures found across Ireland of a grinning crone holding open her vulva with both hands. More than 100 mysterious stone carvings across Ireland have become a powerful symbol representing feminine energy. Some of them are in churches. The name derives from the Norse words Sheila for woman and Gig for a giantess, G-Y-G. Long ago, the figures had a grotesque connotation and were viewed as having a lewd connection to the evilness of lust. In modern times, the way this ancient symbol is considered is more aligned with the empowerment and liberation that is occurring with the rise of the feminine. Okay, now, I am going to read the last half of this. So they're talking about a woman's cycle, the womb, the yoni, reconnecting with the power of the menstrual cycle. And then it says, lie down in meditation. Tune in and notice what messages are received. For example, painful menstruation cramps may signal a heavy emotion in need of purging. Or for a male, work with the sacral chakra to gain messages that may help to honor Mother Nature and the women who influence you. And also, men have within them an energetic center, which is the place where they incubate things. So yes, this can bring learning about the cyclic nature of life. Release old wounds through your orgasm. Yes, the dense trauma energies you carry within will be liberated. Hold your desires in mind during orgasm, if you can, to send a ripple of creative energy to the universe for powerful manifestation. Honor the yoni, maximize her power, and celebrate who you are. So the orgasm is one of the most effective and potent energy raisings available to a human. But it's not available to everyone, because to continue to focus on an intent at that time and send it off takes some skill. So what is this talking about? Really, okay, so things coming to fruition in time instead of when we want them to, honoring our beautiful sacred body, and most especially the gateway of life. These two, can talk about how motherhood changes your body and makes us long for that, our own archetype of us in our prime. But these two on the side, Sheila Nahig here also says that something is aborning. Something wants to come through this gateway. It's taken its time. Demeter talks about the gestation, and this is the birth. And what is gestating? Getting ready to be born, a new attitude toward your very self and this piece of earth that has been given into your care. Okay. Lady of the Lake. You are an alchemist. Turn your pain into power. Dive inwards to retrieve hidden aspects of yourself. The Lady of the Lake is one of the most revered figures in Avalonian mythology. That's Avalon. According to legend, she lives in a castle under the lakes surrounding Avalon. She's the ever-powerful enchantress, most recognized as the being who emerged from the lake's depths to present King Arthur with his sword Excalibur. So she's female magic. She's a powerful example of women tapping back into their power and magic. All right. Conducting alchemy of the soul is similar to Lady of the Lake, diving deep into the murky unknown waters to retrieve Excalibur to present to King Arthur. All right, I'm getting something pretty strong here, and that is to do a little ritual, whether you do it with just yourself or someone else very close to you, or within a women's group or a coven. But I've always had this kind of fantasy, and it would really take some powerful women, and it would be incredibly powerful, to have a sky-clad ritual, sky-clad meaning naked, if you're not familiar with that term, clad in the sky, and storytelling where we stand up and show our scars. Here's what happened, when I had my first child and I got this scar. Here's a surgery scar when this was fixed. Here's, to just tell the story of our bodies as they are manifest right now, because that's what it is. When I had a baby as a child at 18 years old, wow, was I not ready for anything that the world had to offer, and super naive. And I ended up with stretch marks all over me through that pregnancy. I was very skinny. And those stretch marks are my road maps. They are the maps of my journey. So, okay. Those brave enough to leave the stability of the land behind and enter the depths of their metaphorical internal lake will reap the rewards of spiritual transformation. Skipping some things here, talking about you can either succumb and become bitter and defeated, or the alchemical process is one of transformation and of taking something base and transforming it into something precious. Alter your perspective to view the parts of your life that seem like lumps of coal and turn them into the source of your transformative power. Instead of feeling the weight of life's hardness, start to feel excitement at the possibilities presented to you via these weighty challenges. Life's pressure can lead you to retrieve hidden pieces of your soul and integrate them into your being. Dive deeply into the dark lake of your unconscious mind. Unearth these shining pieces of you and bring them back to shore. So it would be a wonderful meditation to do, of diving deep down into the murk. And, we have symbolism there too of the lotus, where the lotus is a sacred plant because its root and the plant itself is at the bottom of water. So black water, no light, deep black mud. But what comes out of it is one of the most heavenly things. And, it puts up this huge stalk all the way up through that blackness to get to the surface of the water under the sky and unfold these glorious flowers with the most incredible scent. So that's the alchemical process that's being talked about here. So Roxanne, it's time to dive deep and look at maybe some of the trauma that your body has been carrying, and how you may compound that trauma by shoving it away and not really taking it and looking at it as, I can use an alchemical process to transform these things. So many things we just think are just, that's it, that's done, it's it, I hate it, it's the way my body is, I'm just going to have to learn to live with it. So we kind of shove it out of our minds. But this is an invitation to bring it in close. And, by defying that tendency to deny, we can find really precious things hidden within ourselves. And just that process of saying that I'm going to work on transforming something can reveal to us parts of ourselves, parts of our own power that we just didn't know we had. All right, here's Inanna. Apply softness to yourself and those around you. True power does not feel the need to be overly defensive. Wow. In fact, I would say true power is defenselessness, because when you know your power, and that you have the power to rescue yourself, to save yourself, to defend yourself against anything, then you don't have to walk around with your shields up all the time. You don't perceive everything as an attack. When you are healed, vulnerable in a healed way, rather than raw in a wounded way. When you're raw in a wounded way, you have to defend as if every interaction is an attack, because anything that touches you're going to hurt, right? Your wounds are raw, painful. But when we heal those wounds, then we can be truly vulnerable, which means I am so sure in myself and I am so solid and I'm standing on the firm foundation of knowledge of myself, so that I can look and regard the world around me not as everything is an attack, but wow, that person's really having a rough time. Somebody's coming at you and you just go, whoo, that's tough. It's tough to be you today. We recognize things as their problem, not as attacks that we deserve. And when you have this undercurrent of hate, or just disgruntlement, dissatisfaction, that grinding, I short-circuited myself, but everything can be seen as an attack because we're always attacking ourselves. When we're attacking ourselves, then why wouldn't everybody else be too? That's the point there. So, softness. When you do this healing work by diving deep and finding those wounds, and then working to express your love towards your own body in a real way, then we can soften and be truly vulnerable and let go of our defensiveness. All right. Softness in a harsh world does not only require an open heart, but a person who is connected deeply to their inner power. Within the feminine, there are as many facets of energy as gleaming angles in a diamond. So while strength, boldness, wildness, and fierceness are necessary, softness is also needed to balance these qualities. Being gentle requires having sufficient inner fortitude to feel secure enough to let down one's guards of protection, just like I was just saying. It takes immense bravery, just as much as it would take to walk onto a battlefield, hands in the air with your weapon at your feet. Becoming hardened, aggressively defensive, and uncompromisingly defiant can come easier in a painful world than a softened touch. A gentle power emerges from an unwillingness to indulge in petty games and unclear boundaries. Instead, you feel powerful enough that you are not easily swayed. You know that humans contain dark and light and walk a challenging path in a complex and nuanced world. So instead of a snap reaction, you pull up the reserves of your compassion and clearly state your unwillingness to be a part of the cycle because you understand that hurting people is what hurt people do. This is excellent. The smallest dog barks the loudest because it feels the need to be protected. A large dog can afford to be gentle because it does not fear being powerless. I wish I'd read this first and saved the lecture. The stronger you become within yourself and in your understanding of why people act out, the greater aligned you will be with the qualities of a large dog, knowing you have a reserve of power and fierceness to call on when needed. It will not be required when you no longer feel threatened. Thank you so much, Roxanne. This is an excellent deck. Okay, now Kalima. Be willing to walk away from all in your life that no longer serves you. Something must die for something new to be reborn. Wow, it's like everything leads to here, right? That, what must die? These old attitudes that have been layered onto you, that you've picked up from the culture, that attitudes that you've truly had because of the cultural context of of how women are supposed to blah, blah, blah. The way the culture has shoulded on us. So patience, things change in time, and they change because you make the choice to go diving deep. Something is ready to emerge from this sacred gateway, and it's a new idea about who you are and how you feel about who you are, new feelings of love and softness. What's being born now is a gentleness towards yourself and towards others because you recognize they're actually the way they are because they're dealing with their shit, not yours. All right. Let's go to the last. Something about your inner phoenix. Recognize where your identity has merged with something that is not truly a part of you, and then release it, like I just said here. Make a conscious decision to become a master of the advanced soul lesson of detachment. Let go and be ready to hold yourself through the grief, loss, and fear of the unknown. Let go and feel everything crumble around you, knowing that you will be rebuilt once more. I have this image of you as like a statue. But as you do this deep dive, the real you that's inside, that's living, breathing, soft, warm, kind of starts to vibrate to the point where that layer, that calcified layer on the outside, that concrete layer of cultural belief systems, people's opinion, old trauma, just starts to crumble. And it's not because of a lightning strike, but it's because of the vibration of this new softness that you are turning towards yourself, softness and feelings of love and wonderful words that you use to describe yourself and your body. That softness vibrates and it's almost like it's not cracking and crumbling. It's like it makes it dissolve. Kind of like how there were these, there's this one girl that I went to high school with, and we had this teacher, Sister Mary Burns, who everybody called Sister Mary God, and she was a terrifying woman. She was towering. She made my bowels turn to water. Let's put it that way. And Karen, this girl that I went to high school with, just was immune to it. She was completely immune to it. And so I took a theater arts class, and Karen was in that class, and Sister Mary Burns taught that class. And Karen came in late once. We were in the theater, and she comes walking in, and Sister Mary Burns does this, she did the thing, put her arms on her arms akimbo or hands on hips, and Karen, wait. And Karen just went, oh, sister, be nice. And I just watched her melt. Karen, what are you doing? She just went, oh, she just melted. And I went, wow, now there's a soft touch. Instead of, being afraid, because she wasn't, bless her. I wish I had that. She just brought softness and humor back and watched the Gorgon dissolve. So anyway, feel everything crumble around you. I'm going to go back and read some more from Kali Ma here. Sometimes you will have to choose to let go of something even when you don't want to or don't feel ready to accept that it is in your best interest. So here's a callback to Demeter here. This talks about being patient and waiting for something to come to fruition. But it's also about some things are going to come to fruition that you don't want, maybe. You can't hold off things coming to fruition. So it's talking about not feeling ready to accept something. Well, something's coming to fruition and is ready to come through the gateway. So it may be time to let go of whatever timing agenda you had in your mind and go, okay, this, labor is starting now. Here we go. Okay. Seeking opportunities to detach intentionally will help you learn the skill for the times you feel the universe is forcing your hand. There you go. Seeking opportunities to detach intentionally. What is a great what's one of those? Meditation. Sitting, and especially doing sitting meditation. And, maybe the phone rings. My phone just rang during a video. Just turn around, deal with it. Or just go, yep, I'm going to let that go. I'm just going to let that go. That's what meditation practice is. It's practice in detachment, in letting go. Take an inventory of the things you feel the strongest attachment to and put a plan in place to find a way to let go of them, even temporarily. For example, if you find comfort in not leaving your hometown, arrange a trip to broaden your horizons. Or if you find comfort in driving your car to get around, practice walking or taking public transport for a week. Getting comfortable with these temporary intentional detachments will assist you in starting to face the more important things you need to address. This is great. Embrace your inner phoenix. When the phoenix knows it is time to burn down to the ashes, even the nest she is in burns to the ground. It takes bravery to allow elements of your life to burn to the ground and walk away. This could include relationships that you stay in out of comfort, even though deep inside you know it is time to move on, or jobs that have become barren of joy, but you continue out of security even though it crushes your soul. So, again, recognize where your identity has merged with something that's not truly a part of you. This is so coherent. It really is. And I'm expecting that the rest of the way. The writing is excellent. The artwork is just glorious. And Roxanne, thank you again so much. Now that I've messed up my spread, I'm going to bigger myself. Okay. That's a little too big. There. Okay. So again, thank you so very much. This deck is a blessing. Highly recommend if you need something new for 2024 in your the goddess part of your collection. If you have a collection, I assume everybody does, but not everybody does. Anyway, enough faffing and babbling. Again, so many blessings to you, Roxanne. I will see you next time on a live stream or an unboxing or a deep dive or whatever I'm doing here. Please like and subscribe if you feel so inclined, and I'll see you next time. Till then, this is Luna. Blessed be.